Well, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Prem Sangeet.
Hey! Hello, good morning, Bali. How are you all doing? Yeah? Okay. So we're gonna do a little energizer that I promise gonna help you out throughout the day to stay more sharp, more focused. Okay, I want everybody to stand up for a second, please. Uh, just take a really deep breath in and breathe out. One more time. And now I want you to do this with me. Take a deep breath in and raise your hands like this. One more time, all together. It's called volcano. Come on. That's good. You can sit down. Yeah. So this is how I see AI in these days. It's like this, getting this exponential curve that goes beyond Moore's law and then goes somewhere that we can't actually understand it with our human mind now. So we'll probably have to transcend our minds and mindsets in the next few years to even to adapt to the where AI is moving. So just out of the curiosity to map out the room, who here is a newbie with AI, uses ChatGPT and some other tools? Hands up. Okay. And who here is an expert in AI, using N8N, vibe coding, maybe investing in AI? Anybody? Come on, I want to see your hands, guys. Okay. So there are a few guys here. Look at these guys. Yeah, you can stand up. Yeah, come on. Whoever is expert. Yeah, you behind you and a few other ones. Look at these guys. Connect with them later and network. Build something cool. Thank you for showing yourself up. We're living in this age where all our dreams are now possible to do in inexpensive way and also the fastest that's ever been. So in order to build your dreams, you just need a few people like this or even just to educate yourself, which is really amazing. But I want to also share some things that are going to prepare you for the future of AI. And that means that because AI is progressing so fast, a lot of jobs will be obsolete. Maybe some of your companies or ideas that you now build are just going to be killed by a Google or ChatGPT when they release a new feature. So we want to focus today on vertical AI. And this is very narrow. And I can give you a few examples that I've been working on for a while now. About 8 years ago, we started exploring the idea of wellness and how we can use machine learning and deep reinforcement learning to help people feel better, to get them to sleep or to get in their creative flow states or to perform. And we understood by working with many scientists and doctors that we have to really focus our data. So if you're building something, really know your data, really focus on getting that data from the good sources, really understand the implications of the data in order to build this. And what's going to help you with that is when somebody else builds something like that who is a giant, you'll be able still to have this IP of the data sets and the knowledge graphs that you build. And you'll also learn a lot. Another problem with the AI these days is that we become more stupid if we outsource our power to the AI. So what you want to do, you want to educate yourself and dig deep into the topic. And that's where the great passion for solving problems happens. So we want to really solve problems or use the AI for those purposes, not just to make money. A lot of people who are just in to make millions, they might, but essentially that's not going to make you happy and that's not going to solve the problem for the humanity. That's basically going to make your business much better. So what we did with AI, we understood that we had a lot of ideas and we want to do a lot of outputs. But until we figure out a few things, and those were, we had to focus on a specific niche on wellness. So think about what sector you're in. and then focus on your subsectors, like what's the nitty-gritty things that you can focus on. So we focused on longevity, meaning healthy lifespan, live healthy and happy for a long time. So we use biomarkers, we use data for our smart rings, DNA, like a lot of data, and we chucked it in. I call this multimodal data. Multimodal data is, think about data that's a video, audio, text, all types of data you collect on your business, on yourself, in order to create this data set. It's super valuable. And because of that data, we were able to really predict good things and give great outputs. Another example in the commerce, this is a commerce conference. Anybody here has a commerce business? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, few people. Well, who has a business here, first of all? Okay, a lot of entrepreneurs, amazing, probably 50% of the room. So this is going to be very useful for you. In terms of commerce, back in 2014, I was working on a project with Amazon that's still not live yet. And at the time, they completely shifted their e-commerce website from static to dynamic page. And after that, that was more than 10 years ago, I understood that static websites, they're going to die. And they're still somehow alive. But what they did, they took all your customers' purchase history or their favorites or their browsing history, and then recreated this dynamic landing page. When they log in, what they see. So the conversion rates increased. They sold more. And it was very interesting to see. Another thing that happened with the neuromarketing is they try to understand the human behavior. And the neuromarketing is neuroscience plus marketing. But when you put the AI in the equation, it becomes very interesting. So you get from 3%, 4% conversion rates from when people enter the funnel to maybe 75, 80% conversion rates, which is absolutely amazing. So they understand the experience of it. So think about changing your website to be dynamic. Another example, what they did with the Netflix was very serious back in the day, and it's called a tree-based algorithms, like a random forest. So each time you log into Netflix, 10 years ago, or 8 years ago, let's say, you would see only the videos and the series and the movies that were you most likely going to watch. So your retention rate increased. That means that they got hooked up on it. It's a neuromarketing aspect as well. So they knew exactly when they would to place this contact and even predict when the person's going to open the app. So now we can do other things that what I seen in working in University College London about 10 years ago, that's still not live yet, but it's called the next level, the next generation of AI, or AI general intelligence. One would argue that it's not here, but I've seen it ages ago. It's real and it's happening. And I call it active inference. And active inference, think about active AI instead of interactive. LLMs like ChatGPT are interactive, so you have to give them the inputs and then it will give you an output, right? But AGI is something that doesn't require an input. It just knows when and what you're doing it. So to give you an example of neuromarketing, Google about 5 years ago acquired a Fitbit. Anybody knows Fitbit? It's a wearable, right, that measures your biomarkers in a lifetime. And so they embedded this data, create a digital profile. By the way, all of us, we have a digital profiles. I call them digital twins by these big companies. Amazon, if you ever shopped, they have your profile. It's very advanced. You would be scared, right? But what they did, they understood how to use active inference in order to predict when is your next purchase gonna be, right? Some interesting topics. Anybody has an idea how to improve their business now? Right? This technology is available if you kind of dig a bit deeper, and you can find those. Another thing, to give you an aspect, this was a neuromarketing example. Back to the Netflix. What they did with this artificial general intelligence, they made the Netflix for AI. So about 2 years ago, this company started generating AI videos that I feel is the future. And the future is hyper-personalized, where we speak about the health, about the entertainment, any industry really, even clothing. You'll have to all move to this segment, get the data, be hyper-personalized. Not personalized, hyper-personalized. So they made this really cool cartoon, which is a South Park, right? For those who don't know, it's a 2D kind of funny comedian, a weird cartoon. And they figure out the user inputs and also ask them some questions, and then made a special, unique episode for each viewer. And the plots and the things just change as you go on. So that's kind of, imagine watching a Netflix, and it's only the version that's made for you, that you're gonna enjoy the most. How cool is that, right? So let's now just go to you guys. I wanna maybe do a quick exercise. Now that you know this superpower of AI, where it can go, I want you to talk to a person next to you about your business or about the idea that I see some people, I have an idea, right? So I want you to speak next to each other just for 1 minute and share what did you get out of this. I want to hear room buzzing. Come on, guys. What's it telling me? Okay, that's exciting to see. Amazing. Okay, let the other people speak as well. Let the other persons talk. That's amazing. I love the energy. So why this is important is because when we share our ideas with other people, we get witnessed and maybe get some reflection, right? It's very important. That's good. I'm sure you're going to have more time to network later. Okay, I need few brave people to tell me, I'll take 2 or 3, to tell me what their idea is. Let me see some brave people. Hands up. You ready? 1, 2.
Hello. I want you to. Yeah, just in one sentence. You stand up, you say your name, and how would you implement this new super technology?
You stand up and
Sounds very interesting. How do we implement that in real life? It's a question.
right. How do you implement this in a real life? I see. Okay. So let me give you an example. This woman, what's her name? Maria asked, how do we implement this in our real life? So because we launched this R&D lab, research and development lab called State on Demand back in 2018 with the idea of longevity, what we discovered is we applied this technology, Active Inference, or AGI, to the health data, to all my health data. My DNA, methylation, my live biomarkers, Fitbit, all of them, right? And there was a live twin of me, and it understood my epigenetics, what should I eat, what should I practice, and basically predicted before I even had the symptoms that I'm going to be sick, right? And then it told me, I didn't ask him anything, it told me how to improve my health, right? And then what we discovered, which is now a really hot topic, and a lot of billionaires are investing in this, it's called longevity escape velocity, meaning that if we survive next 10 years it's most likely going to be a case where we will choose how long we're going to live because of AI technology advances in medicine especially. So that's my personal approach to kind of how we're going to implement this technology in our daily life for the health. This is the AI vertical or narrow AI that I like the most because obviously it has a massive impact, right? If you're dead, you won't be able to do anything, right? But there are other industries, for example. But let me hear some of your ideas, and maybe we can bring it to the audience and share a few feedbacks. Anybody you have an idea? Share your name and your idea. How you would implement this super technology to your business or your new idea?
I'm Sasha Aguila, and I run Trilogy, which is a moringa supplement and cosmetic. We farm it in Bali and craft it in Bali too. And
Cool.
the question
And
is
how would you implement this AI technology to your company now?
through the. I'm not sure. I arrived only 5-10 minutes ago, but I would implement it in my e-commerce platform.
Right.
It's really helping me, and I'm already implementing in my day-to-day task.
Amazing. Okay. So this gentleman here has a moringa company, so it's supplements, right? Moringa is a superfood, grows naturally here. He wants to implement it in his e-commerce business, meaning that you can bring personalization to the next level. Using this technology to understand your customers better, giving them protocol based on whatever data you have on them, saying if you take moringa, it's going to increase your skin, your health age, whatever it is, and you subscribe them. Your customer, because of that, is going to be more happier. They're going to tell to other people because you really care for them. And they're going to stick longer, so their customer life value will grow. Instead of paying ads to get customer for one purchase and then leaving, you're going to create a relationship with them, which is a neuromarketing aspect of it. So they're going to come back. Like same thing if you have a hotel, for example. You know, people will come again. And then the best car salesmen are actually the ones who don't sell you one car, but they're going to sell you the next car you're going to buy after this one, because you just gain this trust. And with AI, you can really become more personal with your customer, right? A follow-up question, that's good.
Sorry, just quick. It's one example where AI really helped me. It skipped the whole lifetime that I would have taken to find my target market. And because of AI and going through very deep scientific studies, I found the market of women going through menopause, which was in no accessible data before about moringa. And so that's what really started to make my business work after a year and a half of trying. So finding my customer thanks to AI, shortening the length of research.
That's amazing, right? So he did a research and found that menopause is a big thing, and moringa might be a solution. There's actually 1 billion women on the planet with the menopause. Huge market, right? Huge problem for women over 40, 50 when they go into menopause. Not much research done, but apparently if you look at using these tools with AI, you can do a research, you can market it. I think that's fantastic. For these things, I use Gemini Deep Research, which is really good. It's embedded in one of the best data sets. Google actually has it. And another tool I use for that would be Notebook.LM. Anybody uses Notebook.LM? Right? Amazing tool. Try it. You're going to be surprised what it does. It's made for learning and research. And it's a kind of, you have a personal podcaster, so it's epic. Okay, so anybody else with an idea of how to implement this technology? Would you come over here, please? Yeah. Sure, tell us your name and how you would implement this.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Amy. I'm from Los Angeles. I own a service-based business, dog walking and pet sitting. I have a team of 10. So currently how it works is it's a little bit old school where we match my team members with my clients. We have a lot of clients, 155 of them. And so sometimes if we have a puppy, for example, they might need to be walked for an hour, but the owner only books for 30 minutes. And also, maybe that puppy needs to go right at 10 o'clock, but we don't have someone available until 11 or so. So it would be really cool to be able to show owners something that the dog could wear. I'm not sure exactly how it would work, but something that said, hey, this is the most optimal time and the most optimal walk schedule for your dog.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's actually a very interesting approach of how we can personalize not only humans but pets as well, which is most of the experiments are done first with rats or pets in an ethical way, I hope. So if you have a variable for a pet, you can understand, like, I have a smart ring that tells me what's going to happen. And prediction is easy with machine learning. You don't need like a big technology. There are various different tools that can understand that. One is called N8N, where you can, it's free and you can deploy these, what I call agents. So there is agentic AI, and it's built basically and beyond automation, there are agents that are deploying these things. So you can say, and these platforms are free to deploy on your local server, or it costs $5 to run. It's amazing, right? So you can deploy an agent and just tell it, like, build me a flow that's going to sense this pet. This pet is, this type of breed. It's this much old. It doesn't have this. You upload records, whatever records you have, and it's going to give you basically analytics. And based on that, give me a recommendation when and how long this dog should walk. And it's basically, if you put an input on the beginning for the user to fill that in, profile, what I call a digital twin, is going to give you, send you a reminder or a recommendation when that should be. So that's moving from interactive, meaning that you have to input something to get the feedback back, like LLM and ChatGPT. We're moving to active inference, which is you're setting up a live digital twin and then allowing real AI to send you when and why. And so the most important thing is to measure the impact after. And that's called deep reinforcement learning, how you can retrain that data and that model to be better. And for your business, guys, this crucial thing. Don't set the metrics to have followers, comments, and likes, or even revenue. Never do that, because that's a wrong approach. Set real examples of impactful metrics, like NPS, Net Promoter Score, what's the satisfaction rate of your customers. Because when you're doing this in the new technology, even if your company has been running for 10 years, we want to have this data that's always improving. And that's the power of AI, deep reinforcement learning. That's how it started. AI started back in 40s when we won the Second World War because of AI. Not many people know that. But then only in about maybe 10 years, there was before my eyes in London, I've seen Google DeepMind, before they got acquired by Google, doing something fascinating, building the simulation of the brain from machine learning to deep reinforcement learning to transformers. It's just simulating the human brain that allow us to have generative AI, that allow us ChatGPT-3 and other things. So, the real advances didn't happen just because they were trying to win the race of super intelligence. It happened because they went into the narrow AI. So how Google did it was they were trying to figure out how the proteins fold from amino acids and peptide chains, how they fold, and solve the human health issues. Because they did a lot of research and a lot of data, innovation just showed itself up, how to innovate these things. So try not to be broad when you have these ideas that you shared. It's amazing. Try to go really deep inside. One reason is that, if OpenAI launch a new ChatGPT feature or Google Gemini launch something new, it's probably going to kill your startup. It's most likely going to take over your job in the next 3 to 5 years. So think about doing something really narrow and really passionate, that you're passionate about, solve really good problems. Because crazy times are coming. I feel like we're living in a time where there's a greatest opportunity for us to build our dreams inexpensively and very fast, right? But on the other hand, there's also great danger that we're about to witness something extraordinary, a shift in our humanity that's gonna give us uncertainty on all levels. We're gonna go to dystopia before you go to utopia, right? It's gonna happen, guys, and it's inevitable. It's gonna happen very, very quick. Okay, so lastly, I want to open maybe last 10 minutes, 5 minutes to any questions. I feel like I didn't have any slides, or I just wanted to interact with you guys. Okay, we have some questions. Stand up, say your name, and then, yeah.
Hi, I'm Andrea. It's a really simple, short question, but like, which AI tools would you recommend to develop this super hyper personalized relationship with customers? Because like you said, N8N.
Yeah.
Is there others that are really good for this, or ChatGPT, like more in general? What is your?
Okay, it's a great question. So she asked how to create a more personalized approach to the customers to understand them better. N8N is only an agent maker. You can have other ones like make.com and things. This is the one that's going to automate the process for you and then execute it. Think about this as you're communicating. First of all, what's the channel you communicate with your customers with? Is it a WhatsApp or Telegram? Social media, let's say Instagram. So think about the next level, next generation of chat, of automated messages or DMs on Instagram, or like ManyChat on the comments, right? But it understands your voice. So idea is that you want to create first the knowledge graph, which is basically retrieval RAG system. It's retrieval augmented generation, where you get your digital version of yourself, your tone of voice, your style, what words, words that you use, how you respond to them, right? Because that's your first thing. What's your brand personality? And brands have to have personality, guys. If you put your face in front of the brand, that's authenticity. That's the new currency, being authentic, being you who you are. That's what people love. Because of all these fake videos and bots, this is going to value. So when you do that, you first become personal with yourself and automate that. And then you use tools like N8N and others to respond more quickly, more in a personal way, and then it will have a memory that understands the user. It looks at their profiles and just talk to it. And of course you can check to that person, your customer, in like by yourself, not by the agent. But eventually, the more you get to that, the level to get the data, that's the first step. It's not a question of the tools. It's how you create your knowledge graph, knowledge base. That's your IP strategy. That's even if somebody else does it better, you'll still have the IP for that, and that's important. Even if your competitors eats up your business, if you have an IP strategy, intellectual property strategy, you'll be still able to make money. So think about building that first, and then tools will come in an easier way. Cool. Any other questions? Does that help your question? Good. Any other ones? We already have one. Let's give somebody else. Any questions? Good.
Hi. You talked.
Your name?
My name is Daniel.
Hi, Dan.
Daniel Holloway. Nice to meet you. You talked a little bit about dynamic content for websites and about customer satisfaction and feedback as a key metric. So my question is, for a business that wants to transition from static front end like a Wix or WordPress website with a, say, CRM system for customer management, what would you focus on to make the move into, let's say, an app-based infrastructure built with like a Lovable or Bubble or something like that, but backed by N8N workflows, so that you can really start to nurture that customer journey from start to finish in a more dynamic environment? What would you focus on?
Oh, it's an amazing question. I think thanks, Danny, for that question. I think it can refer to all of you, who has a website for their business here, right? What great question, right? Listen up. So first of all, we want to create a marketing funnel or neuromarketing funnel, how I call it, right? So the mic drop. So what you want to do is understand what are the levels of building awareness, creating an ongoing relationship, and then what's the trigger? Is it buy, subscribe? If they subscribe to your newsletter, it's an ongoing relationship. Eventually, what happens after the channel? So that's the first step. If you build that, then you'll start to build this persona to understand the behavior of that person. And yes, about 40% of websites are built on WordPress, which is kind of getting slower and slower. But there's still plugins for WordPress that allows you to optimize. If you use like WooCommerce, for example, you use in WordPress, it allows you to imagine you have a catalog of SKUs, right? Imagine that your visitor that lands on your website, sees those products relevant to them. It's all about relevancy. Or let's say that you have a hotel, right? And the visitor comes to your website and sees all of a sudden exact dates when they're traveling. Because guess what? In their cookies meaning the search history and stuff, if you allow them, most people take those, by the way, you should take advantage and put actually the compliance that goes with it, right? But you take that and you understand so much more. And what this AI does, it instantly adapts your content, your website to that. So you can choose a date, pick whatever in a matter of milliseconds, whatever that is, or how do you create dynamic content. And guys, this is serious stuff. Static website's gonna die. And another point that you made is like to use vibe coding. So there are tools out there like Bolt.new, Lovable.dev. There's Emergent as well. But there's quite a few great tools. Meaning if you want to build websites and even mobile apps, you don't need to pay developers anymore. It's like full stack end-to-end development just from one prompt, right? And most of these tools are free to certain token limits, right? You can use it for a few days or at least for a week. So you can try to experiment building a module for that. You can say, build me a WordPress plugin that's going to adapt based on cookies. So once you do that, you can say, well, what else can I get? From my recurring customers, what do I know? But most importantly, if you use Zoho is a good platform. I'm not sponsored by Zoho, but I advise them, let's say that. So Zoho has this interesting way where CRMs is the way you stored your customer data can be enriched. So the more you know about your customers, the better, because that's where the AI comes in the magic, right? So, okay, I have 2 more minutes. Yeah, any last questions before we wrap up? Okay, this gentleman here, just please make it quick and
Before this AI,
your name?
My name is Hashim. I'm working.
Hi, Hashim.
Hi, I'm working for United Nations in Japan.
Amazing.
Before we are busy with googling. Now we are discussing about AI. What do you think the next? Thank you.
That's amazing question. From you and Japan, wow. So the old thing was, when we didn't know something, my generation, was we ask our moms, right? And then, new generation, Generation X, they ask Google. Now the new digital natives, they ask AI. And I think what's next, it's a great way to close up. It's my prediction as a futurist who live in a present moment is that in 10 years from now, we're going to run away from AI. That's my prediction. We'll try to retreat in Bali in some beautiful places, go to temples, go to nature, be with the community. I think that's what's next. And I really encourage you to make this change. It's not the AI that's going to change the world. It's how we as humans use AI that's going to change us for better. So remember that longevity escape velocity, meaning that we could end up living forever, healthy and happy. That's really up to us, because if we use technology in a bad way, use that customer sentiment, neuromarketing manipulation, we build super intelligence, it's going to be end of the world. And we are talking about 5-10 years now. So we can decide how we're going to build and how we're going to make the future. So it's inevitable that this is the most exciting times to be alive, guys. So be mindful how you build things. Keep it vertical, keep it narrow, create impact versus making money. That's my guide. I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you so much. Follow me on Prem Sangeet.
Thank you, Prem. Thank you so much. Another round of applause to Prem.